Welcome back to AZUCAR TV, donde estamos de lo mío y pa lo mío. And I'm so excited to be here in Jersey City to showcase to you our parranda. Now, this parranda is hosted by Segunda Quimbamba, which is an organization in Jersey City which hopes to promote Bomba y Plena music to the community. I've had the pleasure of taking a course with them, learning both percussion and bomba dance for the last 12 weeks, and it has been an incredible experience. Back in the day, bomba was used to celebrate marriages, to celebrate baptisms, but also as a form of resistance, as a form of rebellion. And so I hope that you will enjoy and learn from the traditions of Afro-Puerto Ricans today in this episode, but also learn about how much bomba means to the community and plena means to the community, and the ways in which it's empowering both youth and elders and people of all ages to come together in communion, in resistance, and all the things that marginalize our communities, but also to pay an ode and a respect to our African heritage. All right, estoy aquí. You can look at me. Okay. Estoy aquí con Julio. So Julio, tell me, like, how did you get into bomba? How does bomba like feed your soul?
So I got into bomba about 5-6 years ago, and actually it was during a protest. And I was raised not to believe in bomba, not to listen to bomba because of colorism, racism. And so one time I went to a protest and bomba was there, and I knew I wasn't supposed to listen to it, but it felt so good. It felt like it was calling me. And so ever since then, I practiced it behind my grandma's back. I would listen to it behind her back, and it felt so liberating that when she finally came to understand and to know that I was in bomba and the actual roots of what bomba was, she loved it. She loved
That's
it.
amazing. Yeah. I feel like as a Dominican Cuban, similar story, right? There's so much anti-blackness in the Dominican Republic. Palo is obviously a little different from bomba, but it has that same like beat, right? With and lots of drumming in it. And I was told too, like, don't listen to palo music. And I love palo music. Like, I get called to it, and that's why I started taking classes with Segunda Quimbamba, because I feel called to the drums. So talk to me about how it's impacted like your sense of community, but also like your mental health.
So just like you said, you were called to it. You felt so called to it. There's a reason that we feel called to music like this, especially as Afro-Latinos, especially as people who are Black and Latino. The reason that this music calls to us is because, one, these Afro-centric musics were born and raised and curated out of struggle, pain, and like loss. And the reason that it calls to us so much is because we also have that inside of us, that when we hear this music, it is calling us to come heal that part of ourselves that like we sometimes dismiss, we sometimes suppress, because society continues to make us like get on the grind. We need to get the next paycheck, and we need to do the rent, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. But we forget to feed ourselves. And the music, bomba, palo, whatever Afrocentric music that we want, that we listen to, that reminds us that there's a part of us that needs to be healed.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you so much for sharing. Bomba and plena are two distinct but interconnected Afro-Puerto Rican musical traditions, each with its own history, rhythm, and cultural significance. Hi, estamos aquí con Viviana, Johanna, and Alexis. So ladies, I've seen you in your classes, also performing. Talk to me about what it's like for you when you enter a bate. Like, what feelings does it give for you, or just being part of the parranda today?
It's being a part of bates and parandas is very much like a spiritual awakening, or it's very empowering, because you think about, even if you're not Puerto Rican, because I have so many friends who are not Puerto Rican who I offer to these spaces, it's very loving. It's very powerful. You feel overwhelmed with a lot of emotions, and it's a community that's around us. These are a bunch of people that we feel safe around, people who are expanding all around Jersey City. These are people who are so open-minded. This is like a beautiful space.
Love it. What about you ladies? What has your experience been being part of the Bomba community?
Well, for me, I joined I think 2 years ago, and honestly it's really been like very inspiring to me because I've always wanted to like know more about my culture and know more about like who I am like as a person, and I feel like Bate like really like brings out who I am and brings out my culture as well.
Joanna?
For me, she introduced me to it, and I'm very happy that she did because, you know, I didn't know that I could be like this confident. Like when I go out in pates or like any social setting, now I'm like very confident myself to do like anything.
I love that. And honestly, that's one of the things that I noticed when all of you dance. And I'm like 40. How old are you ladies?
15 and 16.
Yeah, but like the confidence that you protrude when you perform and dance and go into the bate is something that people still at 40 are still trying to gain. And so I love that you've been able to like be part of this community, but also allow it to build you up as, you know, Boricuas, as women, as Latinas, Afro-Latinas. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Bomba can be dated back to the late 1400s, early 1500s, while Plena emerged early in the 20th century in Puerto Rico's coastal regions, especially in Ponce. We're here with Yomaira and Evie. So talk to me a little bit about your journey with Bomba. How did you get exposed to it? And how has it really like impacted your joy, your mental health?
Okay, so I'll start. So with Bomba, we had ended up putting our daughter in classes for Bomba. So we used to actually drive all the way to the Bronx for classes. And I remember for me, it started off with the first time that I heard the drum in the class. And I was like, oh no, what is this? And it was something that ran through my blood. And I was just like, this is something I need to do for myself. We really wanted her to be immersed into the culture, but at the same time, I felt like I was immersed into the drum and the beat of it. Right. So when I actually got to my first class to do Bomba, Juan had said something that just resonated with me, and he was just like, if you're here because of the drum, it's because it's within your DNA. And it's something that calls you. Right. So that's how I got into the class. But it really started with my daughter, wanting to immerse her in the culture and wanting her to be part of something bigger than herself, to connect to her ancestors, to connect to the island, to connect to like where she comes from.
Right, that's beautiful. And have you seen any difference in your daughter since you put her in classes?
We definitely do. I feel like she just listens to the drum and she connects with it wholeheartedly. It's something that you can't even put to word. Just watching her, just connect with that, and actually like going back to her own roots and really just seeing her thrive and just the happiness that comes out of her and emanates. And now our son is in it too.
Oh wow!
So I feel like it's a whole family affair, and it's really beautiful to see. And I always remind her that these are her roots. Right? This is part of her, and to learn more about her identity is learning about the culture and everything that comes with that as well.
All right, we're here with Jomaira and Jessica. So talk to me, how long have you ladies been doing Bomba?
So I found Segunda Quimbamba about 2.5 years ago, and I've done like 5 semesters of dance and 2 of drum.
So I became acquainted with Segunda Quimbamba years ago on Instagram, but then I started taking classes early last year. So I've done actually two semesters of drum and dance.
And what does Bomba mean to you?
It's so Puerto Rican. I said that because I remember hearing it as a little girl and always being moved by the ritmo, by the drums, all right? It is homenaje to our African ancestry. It's keeping our traditions alive and not losing who we are, especially being, Puerto Ricans are, so many of us live here in the mainland, and we lose a lot of who we are when we assimilate into the local cultures, but Bomba keeps us alive.
I love that. It's so true.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it better than that, but definitely it connects me to just it's something about being just with your people for like a certain amount of time a week to really, you know, you go back to your job where that's not the case, and you just get healed, and then you go back to work and you're able to do it all over again, because we do this every Sunday. And so it's just like the best way to start your week with your people, honoring your ancestors, and then the music alone is just healing by itself. So
absolutely,
yeah,
it's therapy. It starts your week off with therapy.
It
exactly.
does.
Yeah. That has encapsulated my whole experience. Seriously, it has been like therapy. You know, like a lot of times we're so isolated. We're just working, you know, 40, 50 hours a week, and you need community to heal.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it has been so invigorating, the music, but more so the community, like just getting to know so many Boricuas in the neighborhood, even the coquito, like simple things. When you can share that with your neighbor, it just brings
and you
so
don't have
much
to
joy.
explain it. You know, like at work sometimes they say you could bring your full self, but you got to explain everything. Oh, I do bomba. Oh my God, I gotta explain what this is. Nobody knows. Here you don't have to explain anything. When you're with you could just be. I like that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I tell people now on the weekends I'm doing Puerto Rican stuff. That's, it's too much to explain. It's too much to explain.
I love it.
You know.
Yeah, right. Right.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Con Segunda Quimbamba's founders, Nanette and Juan. Can you talk to us a little bit about why you started this Bomba collective?
So our Bomba and our Plena is born out of the fact that in Jersey City, where we both live and raised our kids, two beautiful children, we wanted to make sure that they understood the traditions that we learned when we were children in our own houses, Puerto Rican households, Nanette in Pennsylvania and me in Jersey City. And to do that, we decided to focus on the Christmas time with parrandas. And luckily you witnessed today the culmination of so many years of Nanette and I just trying to keep this tradition alive.
Yeah, so beautiful. Nanette, did you want to add anything about what Bomba and Plena has done for you as a Latina woman in terms of how you build community through it?
Yes, I feel like bias, of course, you know, Puerto Rican women are strong. I feel that we express that through the many things that we do in nurturing our community and our families, and that comes through with not only the food that we love to prepare with our hands and to give to them, but also through the music and through the language and through the stories that we get to share and tell. And those are things that we wanted to hold on to, our own connections with our own parents and our grandparents, our ancestors, and continue to live it and share it out. And then we had our own kids, and we wanted to have them experience that as well, because it is so rich and it's such a core part of who we are and our identity. And so we wanted, if we could have that and hold on to that, to share with them. And then now we find that we've been sharing it out with everyone, and that we all have these similarities, even when our cultures are different, but our backgrounds and our desires for memories and connecting are the same. So it resonates. And we're very
I interviewed a few of the community members, and a lot of what resonated was that people felt a lot of love during this experience, a lot of community, a lot of resistance, right? But also healing. Do you guys see yourselves as healers, or how do you view yourselves in terms of like the work that you're doing?
I think it's pretty clear that when you put together the beats of our ancestors, the drums and the chorals and the rhythms and the melodies and the dance of our ancestors, because what we're doing is carrying on what we learned, oral histories. So when you do that, by definition, is spiritual. By definition, is healing. They were able to play this music as a way for a release, especially from slavery times. We're able to play it to carry on the traditions of healing, release, and resistance. And we can't be more proud to know that we're still doing beats that we learn, people who learned it from people who learned it from people go back hundreds of years.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say thank you again for this experience, for being part of your class. It really has been a healing opportunity for me just to be around so much love and so much community. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging. Gracias. Take care.
Ultimately, what you're witnessing today is a demonstration of plena, and it's in the form of a parranda. A parranda is a type of gathering, a communal gathering of Boricuas, where it's similar to almost Christmas caroling, but the songs are sung in Spanish, and there's a lot more of a communal experience. And we're really just enjoying each other's company and spreading joy throughout Jersey City. And so I hope that what you got from this experience is that bomba is not just a dance, it's a form of resistance. It's a form of building community, which is so important in today's world, especially in places like New Jersey and New York City, where there's millions of people, but yet still so many people struggle with loneliness. My experience being a part of Bomba and Plena with Segunda Quimbamba has been amazing. I've met so many amazing people. I've connected to my roots, to my culture, and it's been a healing journey for me as well. And so I hope when you start to think of healing in the future, that you think of ways that you can connect to your ancestors and connect to your roots. Because even though I was born in New York City, raised in Queens, my soul is always in the Caribbean.